Hello, welcome to my porch, my windy porch out here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm out enjoying the weather. It's a nice day out. Uh, got my umbrella up on the patio uh, table. Finally got it up and got one that worked. And it's sized just right to fit underneath the apartment above, and it wouldn't take up too much room. Looks like a big mushroom, but that's part of it. I'm out smoking my cigar, drinking my coffee, trying to keep my cigar lit, and enjoying the day. My dad's been having problems with constipation and other things. He's been yowling a lot, and it's real hard to get through the constipation, to break to that, because they have to hydrate. You can't always just jump to the enema, and the suppositories don't always work. They just add more pressure, because older people with dementia or older people can't press anymore. Not an easy topic to talk about, but I just have to continue to give him something like lactulose and Miralax and hope he can ease out of it, because they don't tell you when they're getting constipated, just like they don't tell you when they're getting dehydrated. They don't know they're there until it's already there. So, but that's part of being a caregiver. I was talking to the VA again about, them. I had extended hours for home help and senior helpers for 2 days a week, so I went from 5 to 7 during our forced move. I'm going to keep saying that. We were forced move, made an offer we couldn't refuse, that kind of thing, for just no reason, really. But they gave me some extra time, extra hours, 3 hours on Saturday and Sunday, and that expired, and there was a special thing. So, but I was talking to the social worker, and she kept asking me different questions. If there have been any falls, if there have been any hospitalizations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She said we can extend this if there have been some of these things. And I thought about it for a second, and I said, no, there have not been any hospitalizations. There haven't been any falls. I thought that was what my job was, to prevent that. And I have. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't throw my dad at the ER every time he coughs. I certainly don't want him getting near a hospital unless absolutely there's no other reason, no other possibility, because once he's in the hospital, they'll ruin him, letting him lay in bed for a week, barely getting up or doing anything, or just sleeping all the time. So I thought about it. I was thinking about, you're telling me that because I'm doing such a good job, I can't get this few extra hours of help a week for me. And I'm a 24/7 caregiver. That means I'm on the clock 24/7. And I can't get a few little extra hours unless I don't do such a good job, or he progresses so much that he's falling, he's going to hospital. That made me think about my sister, who passed away, unfortunately, regrettably, a few years ago, in a nursing home. after being in the hospital for a week. But my sister was having falls and was wheelchair bound at the end because of a back surgery and a lot of things. But the thing was, she go to the hospital, be at a hospital, then they send her to a nursing home for a month, send her back home alone, and then she deteriorate within a week or two, back to the hospital, ambulance calls and all this. And I did the math back then. They wouldn't pay for Medicare and Medicaid would not pay for assisted living. They'd pay for a nursing home, but not assisted living. Assisted living for her, but basically out here it'd be about $40,000 a year. One ambulance ride to the hospital and 1 week in the hospital cost double what 1 full year of assisting living would cost. Not counting the nursing home after or any of that. And so in the end, my sister was going to the hospital at least once or twice a month, for months and months and months. And it got to the point where she was spending more time in the hospital than she was at home. So she finally went to the nursing home to rehabilitate. Never happened. So we're going to pay for all this stuff after the fact, but not do anything preventative. Assisted living, I think if my sister had gotten that, she would still be with us. And me keeping my dad out of hospitals and out of physical rehab at nursing homes and stopping him from falling and all that, keeping him hydrated, fed, medicated, not sick, nursing them through the small sicknesses, keeping them away from the ER. I remember we went to the ER because he was having some problem, the VA ER, and he was there, and they tested him while he was there, and he had COVID. That's what they said. The funny part was I tested him a couple of days before that for COVID at home, and myself, and neither one of us had COVID. But they checked through the nasal thing. He's in the hospital for sitting around in the waiting room for a long, an hour. He gets COVID. And I go home, and within 2 days I have COVID. How about that? So I try to keep my dad out of the ER. I keep him away from C. diff and all that kind of stuff. My sister had C. diff, and I learned lessons then. And she got that from a hospital. It just didn't surface at her house. So they're willing to do all they can, or they'll pay out all this money, but not for preventative. Wonderful, isn't that? That's something we need to think about. Spending a little to save a lot. Paying us family caregivers with at least some respite hours with help, because we're on the clock all the time. And if we do our job right, our loved one will not be in the hospitals, will not be falling, will not be doing all that. That they will fall no matter what you do. But keeping them healthy, keeping them as active as possible, nursing them through the smaller sicknesses so that they don't turn into big ones. Morning, noon, and night. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting for a veteran, too. That I can't get a few extra hours of help, time off, unless my dad was worse off. Interesting. And my dad's already at the stage, the catastrophic condition. They've got it on the form. Catastrophic. And he's not, you don't have to pay co-pays or anything now. He's not going to be recovering from that. They got him listed as that. But I can't get those extra hours. Interesting, isn't it? Anyway, I'm not bitching too much about it, complaining about it, or whatever you want to call it. I'm very pleased that we get what we get, because a lot of people don't have that good luck or good fortune to be able to get aides, senior helpers, home health aides that come in to give you some respite. I feel for those people because I went through that for years. Didn't know that I could have asked for help. I just did it until it became so much. And finally, they said, "Oh, well, you know," social work came and said, "Well, you know, by the way, you could have home assistance." Oh, really? Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, I'll talk to you another time. I'm going to sit out here, drink my coffee, smoke some more of my little cigar, try to keep it lit in the wind, and go in and deal with the yowling and the yelling, and try to convince my dad to drink more fluids. Take care, and I'll see you again at another time.